Okay, so a couple of episodes ago, in episode 195, we looked at a new Chris Pine film. And yeah, we have another one, right? Yeah, he was in a new film called The Contractor. Okay, so yeah, this one is directed by Tarik Saleh, written by J.P. Davis. It is produced by Basil Ilwank and Erica Lee. Executive produced by Daniel Steinman, Robert Simmons, Esther Hornstein, Micah Green, Jonathan Furman, Dan Friedkin, Adam Fogelston, Michael Flynn, Josh Bratman, Samantha Alwinton, and Chris Pine, co-produced by David Minowski and Carmen Pepila. Okay, music is from Alex Belcher. Cinematography is Pierre Aim. It is edited by Thies Schmidt. Casting is Florina Fernandez. Production designer Roger Rosenberg. Art direction is Luca Bukura. Heather R. Dumas. Iona Piea. Grigor Pusuriu. And Carmen Ratoye. Okay, so costume design is Louise Neeson. And our cast. Well, we have Chris Pine, who plays James Harper. His wife, Brianna, is played by Gillian Jacobs. And their son, Jake, is played by Sander Thomas. So we get some flashbacks to young James, who is played by Toby Dixon. James's dad is played by Dean Ashton. We then have got his best friend Mike, played by Ben Foster. Mike's wife Christine, played by Tina Rushin, and their son Mike Jr., played by Nicholas Nobelit. Yeah, we then have got Rusty, played by Kiefer Sutherland. Whew. Oh, yes, there is what's his name? Salah? Who the fuck played Salah? Oh dear. Salim, even. Salim is played by Fayez. His wife Sophie is played by Amira Kazar, and their son Yanis is played by Artisio Mian. Okay. Yeah, and I think they've got a daughter played by Olivia, played by Tudor Velio. Right, we've got a whole heap of other people. Virgil, played by Eddie Marzan. Kaufman, played by Florian Monteo. Eric, played by JD Pardu. Katia, played by Nina Hoss. Tito, Brandon Melendi. Dalton, played by Tate Fletcher. Ernie, played by Malossi Leonard. Dave, played by Nico Wooland. Kelly, Eva Asuko. Yeah, I'd say that's probably about it. Right. And the gist of the film is this: after being involuntarily discharged from the US Special Forces, James Harper decides to support his family by joining a private contracting organization alongside his best friend, Mike. And under the command of a fellow veteran, Rusty, overseas on a covert mission, Harper must evade those trying to kill him while making his way back home. So yeah, that's the film in a nutshell. Um, like it looks nice, you know what I mean? The way it's shot, the filters used, it does invoke, right, the kind of feel that they're going for, right? They're, this kind of bare bones, kind of hardtail, right? People up against it, all of that. That you do get that sense. The problem I kind of felt was I don't care, right? Like you've got some information, like he's discharged from the army and all of this, right? Because he's trying to heal up his leg. But it was a bit like, you know, I think they say, oh, they never test. Oh, but all of a sudden they're testing. I kind of still feel you kind of look in other ways, you know what I mean? Because of the risk of, right? I don't think anyone's going to be like, oh, well, they never do. So I'm just going to do this. You'd be like, but they might. Because there's, I know people in the army, there's random tests and shit. So I kind of like that was all a bit like, really? Like, that's the right, really? You know what I mean? Like, there's stem cell treatment, there's all these other things. So that just in itself was a bit like, okay. Now you then have him, like I don't want to do private contracting, but that's the way it's gonna go, right? That's a bit obvious. But the whole Rusty situation, like from the jump, something's gonna go wrong, but it's like, okay, but what? Right? And then the thing that does, the way they do it, it all seems a bit like, but why? Right? You kind of felt there is so many other ways to resolve this situation. Why the fuck would someone go that way? You know what I mean? It was all a bit, it's just all a bit out there. Like the police turning up right away. You kind of look at it and be like, I mean, surely there's contingencies, right? Surely you'd think, okay, if the police were going to come, they'd be coming from this direction. So we should be more over here or more like there just seemed a load of things that were just a bit like, how the fuck did these supposed professionals not think to themselves, this could be a thing? Right? So we have all of this stuff going down. Like, there's other things like it's that typical thing of one person against a load of people with guns, but none of them are hitting the person, right? And there's a scene where Harper's out in the open, essentially, all these people shooting, no one's hitting him, and it's just like, how the fuck are these people, these ex-Marines and whatnot, missing? I just can't buy that all of these people would be missing, right? I think when you're doing these scenes, in the 80s, you kind of like, oh, okay, God, that's crazy. But I think now audiences are more nuanced to this shit. You have to give someone a reason why things might not be working, whether it's sunlight, reflection, you know what I mean, some turns. Give us something. But the way these kind of come, it just feels mad lazy, right? So you have all of this, but yeah, just this stuff keeps on happening. but it all feels just a bit like, but why? Right? Why? You know, we have this big thing in this factory. He's given some info, and we see him following up on that, and it's all a bit like, okay, why is the person going to trust? Right? Why aren't they going to notify? Right? There's just all these things. It's like, okay, but you know, then you just have him now on the run and just like all the things. It just feels a bit, like his best friend, and you kind of feel with that comes, I think you can ask certain questions. You don't necessarily go, oh, this must have been the thing, right? Because essentially at that point it could have been anything. So there's all these leaps in directions, but you're just like, okay, where's the logic for this, right? It just seemed like shit thrown at the wall, but with no real, thought of story here. There was just these ideas. Oh, it'd be cool if we did this. Maybe we do that. But it's like, all right, how are you getting from here to there? You know what I mean? Give me something plausible. Like, listen, I know these stories, they're always out there. That's fine. But give me just a little something that I can go, yeah, I can kind of see that. Right? I can kind of see, because what we get, yeah, it's weird. And I say these people, army, been in the army for years, body armor. You know what I mean? I'm kind of like, if you're going up against, how are you not coming with body? Like, what? What? And if you've been shot, you're not just standing there in the middle of nowhere, just like, "Oh, do, 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 do." You know what I mean? It's like trying to find, like, just, yeah. The story just didn't work for me. I didn't feel pulled in at all. But as I said, look, it looks nice. Kiefer Sutherland, some decent acting. Like the role doesn't really offer him a great deal to work with here. But with the contractor, it is a little bit similar to all the old knives, right? In the fact that you have this story, but kind of feel we've seen it done better, right? The whole logic isn't necessarily there. So you're trying to get into the story, but there's like you just don't care about any of the characters. We're not given a reason to invest with these people. You know, that was my thing. So listen, if you, I mean, if you liked all the old knives, then I feel you will like this. You know, if you're looking for something with mad substance, I don't think this is the flick. You feel me? But if you just want a little espionage, right? A little action, you don't want to think this will probably speak to you, but it's on Prime, right? So you got Prime, boom, check it out, But yeah, the contractor.